The deep space around the uncharted system was quiet, almost too quiet. The stars looked like small white dots floating in an endless sea of darkness. The Union exploration convoy moved through this silent region with slow and steady engines. Their ships were shaped like long silver petals, smooth and curved, built for peaceful travel and study. None of the crew expected anything unusual here. They believed this part of the galaxy was empty, untouched, and safe. But then their sensors caught something strange. Navigator, a young with pale blue skin and calm eyes, stared at her screen. She expected a simple asteroid or old satellite. Instead, she saw a shape that did not match any known design. It was large, dark, and cold. There were no friendly signals from it, no lights showing life, no transmissions, just a silent metal body drifting in space. She called for Captain at once. Captain stepped onto the command platform of the flagship. She was known for her quiet strength and clear judgment. When she reached the main screen, she froze for a moment. The object did not look like a natural formation. Its long hull and sharp edges were clearly crafted with purpose. It looked like something sleeping, waiting. "Is it hostile?" she asked softly. "We do not know," replied. "It is not responding to our hails. It is not moving. It might be empty." Watched the strange shape rotating slowly in the darkness. There was something unsettling about it. It felt old and powerful, like a warrior from a lost age. "Bring us closer," she said. The entire convoy moved forward in tight formation. Their engines hummed as they approached the unknown object. Crew members whispered among themselves, unsure if they were about to discover an ancient relic or something far more dangerous. Then the silent structure began to power up. First came the faint glow along its hull, as if hidden circuits were waking after a long sleep. Then the engines lit slowly with deep blue fire. The ship was not drifting anymore. It was alive. His eyes widened when new data flashed across her console. "Captain, we are receiving a code from the object. I do not understand the language." "Put it on screen," ordered, her voice tense. A sequence of symbols appeared. They were sharp, blocky, and unlike any writing they had ever seen. A translation attempt began automatically, but the system struggled. Then a single word appeared. "Human." Felt her heart tighten. This was not a word any ship had ever encountered before. Their explorers had traveled far across their region of space, meeting dozens of species and studying even more. But they had never heard of humans. The unknown ship continued to awaken. Panels shifted, lights brightened, weapons, massive ones, came into view. A hush fell across every ship. "Captain," whispered, "we are detecting weapon energy signatures stronger than anything our Union has built." Did not speak at first. She watched the human warship unfold itself like a giant rising from sleep. She felt a quiet fear spreading through her crew. They had never seen anything like this. They had no idea who built it or why it was here. But on the other side of the unknown vessel, deep inside the hull of the human warship Horizon Lance, things were far calmer. Commander Carver stood on the bridge with a steady posture. He was a man in his early 40s with a firm voice and calm brown eyes. He looked at the holographic screen showing the convoy approaching. Their ships were small, elegant, and clearly not built for war. "They spotted us," said quietly. "Looks like first contact." Beside him, Lieutenant Maria Holt typed quickly on her console. She was sharp-minded and focused, always alert during missions. "Their scanners are sweeping us," she said. "They must be nervous. Their fleet is taking a defensive position." Nodded. "Keep weapons idle. No shields unless they fire at us. We stay non-threatening." Maria looked at him. "Do you think they're peaceful?" "I think they're afraid," said. "They found a warship they've never seen before. I would be afraid too." The Horizon Lance was indeed a warship, built with strong metal plating, advanced reactors, and powerful weapons. But today, it was not hunting an enemy. It was on a long-range patrol mission, searching for safe travel routes for future human colonists. The appearance of the fleet was a surprise, but not an unwelcome one. Maria locked onto the alien transmissions. "They're trying to translate our identification signal," she said. "And I'm hearing fragments, fear, confusion, and something like disbelief." Sighed lightly. "Let's make this easy for them." He sent out a calm greeting message in simple language. It carried no threat, only a request for peace and communication. But the moment the humans sent that message, the ships froze. Literally, they stopped moving. Every one of the dozens of silver ships halted at the exact same moment. Their engines shut down. Their formation locked completely. The screen of the human bridge showed the alien fleet suspended in space like statues. Maria frowned. Why did they stop? "Observe the silent ships. Fear response," he said. "They think we're dangerous. They think a single wrong move might destroy them." Inside the flagship, the atmosphere grew heavy. Some crew members could not even speak. Others stared at the human ship with wide, worried eyes. Whispered, "Captain, the human ship is not charging weapons. It is trying to communicate." Tried to calm herself. "So they do not want to attack us." "No signs," replied. "Let out a deep breath. Hold position. No movement, no weapons. We wait." She looked again at the human warship. The dark metal hull seemed to absorb the light of distant stars. Its weapons looked like they could break an entire fleet in a few shots. She wondered what kind of species needed such power. "What are humans?" she whispered to herself. She wanted to reach out. She wanted to understand, but fear held her still. Back on the horizon, Lance stood straight, watching the silent alien fleet. "They're scared of us," he said. Maria nodded softly. "So this is how first contact begins." Looked at the screen one more time. "Yes," he said, with silence filled with fear. The fleet floated in complete silence. Not a single ship moved. Their engines stayed cold, their lights steady but dim. Fear spread across the vessels like a slow wave. Every officer felt it. Every scientist felt it. Even the technicians, usually calm and logical, sat stiff in their seats. The human warship stood in front of them, still and quiet. It did not raise weapons. It did not push forward. It simply existed with a heavy and powerful presence. The crew could not understand how something built with such strength could remain so calm. Inside the flagship, Captain tried to steady her breathing. Her hands rested on the edges of her command chair, fingers tense. She watched the horizon lance on the main screen. Its dark, angular shape looked like a shadow carved into space. "Are we safe?" she asked quietly. Checked her console again. "There is no sign of attack. The human ship is only observing us." Nodded, though her body still felt tight with worry. "Keep all systems ready, but do not activate weapons," she said. "Any sudden move might scare them, or worse, it might make them think we want to fight." Swallowed softly. "Captain, their energy levels are so high that even a single warning shot would destroy several of our ships." Looked down for a moment. "I know," she whispered. The crew had met other species before. Some were friendly, some were cautious, and a few had been strong. But none had ever carried such crushing presence. Even without firing a shot, the human warship felt overwhelming. Meanwhile, far away inside the horizon lance, the mood was tense but not fearful. Commander Carver studied the frozen alien fleet. "They shut down their engines," he said. "Looks like they want to show us that they won't attack." Lieutenant Maria Holt leaned forward. "Or they're too scared to move," she said softly. Glanced at her, "Maybe both." The human crew watched the ships with calm discipline. Their fleet was small, maybe 20 ships, all built for exploration. None looked strong enough to handle a human destroyer, let alone a warship like the Horizon Lance. Maria continued listening to alien signals. "They're trying to decode our message," she said. "They're slow, but they're trying. I think they want peace, Commander." Nodded. "Good, let's give them time." On the flagship, technicians worked in silence, trying to understand the human transmission. Every time they heard the human voice, they felt a new wave of fear. The language was strong and firm, even when speaking gently. "We have almost translated their greeting," reported. "It sounds simple. They say they want peaceful contact." Around her, several crew members sighed with relief. But relief did not erase fear. A science officer named spoke with a shaking voice. "Captain, their ship is too powerful. Even if they want peace now, what if they change their minds later?" Looked at him calmly. "We cannot judge a species by fear alone," she said. "We must understand them." Her words carried strength, but inside her heart still trembled. She had never felt so uncertain in her life. Hours passed slowly, as both fleets remained frozen in place. Inside, the Horizon Lance paced across the bridge. "They're not responding yet," he said, "but they're not running either. That's a good sign." Maria watched the screen with thoughtful eyes. "Commander, maybe they see us the way we once saw the unknown. Big, strange, dangerous." Smiled slightly. "Every species feels that at first contact. What matters is how we move forward." Then a soft alarm beeped. Maria sat. "Their power levels are rising just a little. Not weapons, maybe communications." Nodded, prepared to receive a message. On the flagship, pressed trembling fingers over her console. "Captain, we are ready to send a reply. It will not be perfect, but it will show that we want to talk." Took a slow breath. Fear still lived in her chest, but she pushed it aside. "Send it," she said. His hand hesitated, then pressed the final command. A soft pulse of light moved from the fleet toward the Horizon Lance. The message was simple, made with broken translation. "We see you, we fear. We do not want battle, please speak again." Inside the human ship, Maria read the translation aloud. Her eyes softened. "Commander, they're scared, but they're trying." Felt a calm warmth in his chest. "Then we'll try even harder." He sent a second message, slower and gentler this time. "We understand your fear. We do not want to fight. We want peace." Moments later, the flagship received the message. The crew fell silent as the translation appeared. Closed her eyes briefly. "They understand," she whispered. "They understand us." Felt her shoulders relax for the first time since seeing the human ship. "Maybe humanity is not what we feared," she said softly. But the nervous science officer shook his head. "Or they are hiding their true nature. We cannot trust unknown warriors." Looked at him with calm seriousness. "Trust is not given in one moment. It is earned over time." Still, she could not deny the truth behind his fear. The Horizon Lance was too strong, too advanced. If the humans wanted a war, the Union had no chance. The thought made her chest tighten again. Hours continued to pass. The two fleets remained still, exchanging slow and careful messages. Each message was short. Each message took time to translate, but with every exchange, fear began to weaken. Until something unexpected happened. On the ships, a faint alarm sounded, small but sharp. Quickly checked her readings. "Captain, another signal, not from the humans." Stood, "What is it?" "It is from deep space, approaching fast." Felt a cold feeling spread through her. "Show it on the screen." In moments, a new shape appeared far behind the Horizon Lance. It was not human. It was something else. A dark vessel moved with sharp movements, almost like a predator. Its engines flared bright orange. Its hull looked damaged, as if it had survived battles recently. Sphere returned stronger than before. "What is that?" Stiffened. "It looks like a raider craft, a scavenger ship. They steal from anyone they find." Gasped softly. "Captain, if they see the human ship, they might attack, or worse, they might provoke the humans." Stared at the screen with wide eyes. "Send a warning to the human ship, now." But before her message reached them, the raider craft changed course. It was heading straight toward the Horizon Lance. Inside the human ship, Maria's console beeped sharply. Commander, unknown ship approaching fast. Weapons detected. Looked at the screen and muttered softly, and here I hoped today would stay quiet. The raider ship fired first. A bright beam shot across space, heading straight for the horizon lance. Maria shouted, "Incoming fire." His voice cut through the tension, "Shields up." The human warship reacted instantly. Blue shields flared to life around the hull. The beam struck them and scattered harmlessly. Inside the flagship, the crew gasped. Whispered, their shields did not even flicker. The raider ship fired again. The horizon lance's shields absorbed it again. "Watch silently. They're testing us," he said. "Let's show them why that's a bad idea." Maria looked at him, full response. "No," said firmly. "We do not destroy them. One precise shot, enough to end the threat, not end lives." Maria nodded, targeting their weapons. The horizon lance fired a single beam. It was thin, controlled, and focused. It hit the raider ship. In one moment, the raiders' weapons melted into useless metal. The ship spun in confusion. On the flagship, shock filled the air. "They disabled it with one hit," said in disbelief. Felt awe wash over her. They could have destroyed it, but they didn't. Sent a new message to the fleet. "We will not harm them. The threat is gone. You are safe." For the first time, felt something new when looking at the human ship. Not fear. Respect. The day had begun with terror. But now, as the damaged raider ship drifted silently, the fleet saw something clearly. The humans were strong, but they were careful with their strength. And that changed everything. The quiet after the raider attack felt different from the silence before it. Before, the fleet had frozen out of fear. They had been terrified of the human warship. They had been afraid of its strength, its unknown nature, and its cold, dark form. But now the silence came from shock. Shock that the humans had used their strength with careful control. Shock that they had stopped a dangerous enemy without causing death. Shock that they had protected both fleets, even though they had not asked for help. Inside the flagship, Captain stood at the center of the command platform. The faint glow of the screens reflected in her eyes. Her crew waited quietly, unsure what to say. Was the first to speak. "Captain, the humans acted with precision. They did not destroy the raider ship. They only disabled it." Nodded slowly. Yes, they could have done far worse, but they chose restraint. Science officer, still nervous but now conflicted, added, "It is unusual. A ship with that kind of power is normally built for war, not for mercy." His voice was gentle but firm. "Mercy is also a form of strength." The crew took in her words, letting them settle into their thoughts. Across the void, inside the horizon lance, Commander Carver and Lieutenant Maria Holt were observing the fleet again. Maria spoke first. "The raider ship is drifting. They won't be a threat anymore." Nodded. "Good. Now we can focus on the real problem." Maria looked confused. "What problem?" Pointed to the screen showing the ships. "They are terrified, and until that fear settles, we can't move forward." Maria lowered her eyes. "Fear makes people freeze. Fear makes people misunderstand." Nodded again. He understood fear well. He had seen it in war, he had seen it in peace, and he saw it now in the alien fleet that trembled before them. "We need to talk to them in a way they understand," said. Maria began adjusting the communication system. "We'll try sending a clear message. Slow, simple, no complex grammar, just basic communication." Folded his arms and waited. After a moment, Maria turned. "Ready when you are." Spoke slowly and calmly into the microphone. "We helped because it was the right thing to do. We do not want to fight you. We do not want to frighten you. We only want to talk. Please respond." The message went out in clean, steady waves. On the flagship monitored the incoming signal. "Captain, they are sending a message. It is clear, very clear." Felt her heart race. Translate it, she said. The translation finished quickly. The simple words appeared on the screen. The crew read the message together. Some gasped, some whispered softly. Leaned forward. They helped us because they chose to, not because they wanted to show force. Stepped toward the screen, her eyes softening. Then we must answer. We owe them our voice. She stood tall, gathered her courage and nodded at. Send a reply. Began to type, her fingers still trembling. She crafted the message carefully, using basic structure, avoiding any complex ideas. The message went out. We thank you, we were afraid, we do not know you, we want to understand. On the horizon lance, Maria's screen lit up with the translated response. She smiled softly. Commander, they want to understand us. Felt a weight lift from his shoulders. Good, that is a real beginning. He ordered a new transmission. This time he included visual data. Simple images. Humans helping each other, humans building, humans exploring, humans saving lives after disasters. No war images, no weapons, no soldiers. Just the side of humanity that showed compassion. On the flagship, the crew stared at the visual message. One image showed a team of humans rescuing injured people from a collapsed building. Another showed humans delivering food and water to strangers. Another showed scientists working together on peaceful research. Whispered, they care about life. Blinked slowly, they help each other in crisis. Felt something shift inside her heart. They want us to see their good side. The crew watched the images over and over. The fear they had felt earlier began to melt into something new. Curiosity. Maria prepared the next message. We should offer them a chance to speak to us directly, she said. Nodded, yes, but we must not pressure them. We let them choose the moment. He sent another simple transmission. If you want to talk voice to voice, we are ready. We will wait. Stared at the message. Her crew looked at her for direction. Whispered, Captain, this could be dangerous. Speaking directly could reveal our weaknesses. Shook her head, or it could reveal our strength to trust. Closed her eyes for a brief moment. She listened to the steady hum of her ship. She felt the weight of her crew's fear and hope pressing against her heart. Then she opened her eyes. We will speak to them. The crew reacted with quiet gasps and uncertain looks. Opened his mouth to argue but raised a gentle hand. They showed us mercy when they could have shown us destruction. They responded with peace when we feared war. They protected us from the raider ship. We cannot hide forever. We must take a step forward. Nodded with relief. I will open the channel, Captain. A soft tone filled the bridge as the channel connected. Everyone held their breath. Then the human voice came through. Hello, said calmly. We hear you, you may speak freely. Stepped forward slowly. Her voice was soft but steady. We feared your ship, we feared your power, but you did not harm us. You helped us. We thank you. There was a short pause. Then replied, we understand your fear. Many species fear what they do not know. We only wish to communicate, to learn, and to avoid conflict. His fingers tightened slightly at the edges of her console. Humans, are you a war species? His voice softened. We have fought wars, yes, but we also choose peace whenever possible. We explore, we build, we learn, and we try to help. The crew listened carefully. Asked again, then why do you have such a strong ship? Answered honestly, because the galaxy can be dangerous. Strength protects us and others, but strength does not define us. Our choices define us. His eyes widened a little. She whispered to herself, their choices. Maria's voice joined the channel. We used our strength today not to destroy, but to protect. We could have done harm, but we chose not to. His eyes softened, looked conflicted but thoughtful. Spoke again. We want peace with you, but we do not know how to take the next step. Replied gently, the next step is simple. We talk, we share ideas, we learn about each other. Maria added, We can exchange small teams or send peaceful data, whatever you feel safe with. Glanced at her crew. They nodded, a mix of nervousness and growing hope. She turned back to the channel. We accept, we want to begin understanding. The channel stayed open, as both sides exchanged basic information about their cultures, worlds, and history. Hours passed, but no one complained. On the flagship, fear slowly changed into trust. On the horizon lance, distrust slowly changed into friendship. Near the end of the long exchange, gathered her courage once more. "Commander," she said softly, "would you allow a meeting, not in person yet, but a closer exchange, ship to ship?" Looked at Maria, who nodded with a calm smile. "Yes," said, "we would be honored." The crew felt a gentle warmth in their chests. Felt it too. "Then this is the beginning." Answered, "Yes, a beginning for both our people." The horizon lance and the fleet did not move closer yet, but something more important had moved. Trust, understanding, and a first connection between two species who had started their encounter in fear, but were now stepping toward friendship. The galaxy felt a little bigger, a little brighter, and far more hopeful. The space between the human warship and the fleet felt calmer now. The fear that once froze the ships had lifted. The silence was no longer heavy or frightening. Instead, it felt gentle, filled with the quiet hope of something new. Inside the flagship, Captain stood at the center of the command platform, watching the image of the horizon lance. The human ship no longer looked like a giant shadow waiting to destroy them. Now it looked like a door to a future they had never imagined. Her crew worked in softer motions. Their eyes no longer held panic. Instead, they carried curiosity. Approached slowly. "Captain," she said, "the humans sent a new message. They want to begin a deeper exchange. They suggest we send a small envoy to meet halfway." His heart beat a little faster. A meeting, even a distant one, carried risk, but all progress carried risk. "What do you think?" she asked gently. Hesitated. "I think this could change our place in the galaxy, maybe for the better." Nodded. "Prepare a shuttle, a small one, and we will choose careful officers." Who had been quietly listening stepped forward. "Captain, this is dangerous. If the humans wanted to control us, this would be the perfect moment." Looked at him kindly. "Fear is still inside you, but fear cannot be the voice that shapes our future. The humans saved us. They protected us without asking anything in return." Lowered his head, unsure but silent. Meanwhile, inside the horizon lance, Commander Carver and Lieutenant Maria Holt watched the ship preparation through sensors. "They're sending a shuttle," Maria said. "A small one, looks like 3 passengers." Nodded. "And we will send our shuttle too. No weapons, slow approach. Let them feel safe." Maria tapped her console. "I'll gather a small team. I'll lead it myself." Looked at her. "Are you sure?" Maria smiled softly. "You said it yourself. Someone has to take the first step." Finally nodded. "Then I trust you." The 2 shuttles launched from their ships at almost the same time. They traveled slowly, moving through the empty space between the fleets. Both sides watched with silent attention. Inside the shuttle, sat beside and a calm diplomatic officer named. Their hands stayed folded tightly in their laps. "We must remain calm," said softly. "Whatever we feel inside, we must show steady hearts." Nodded slowly. "I am ready, Captain, nervous but ready." Breathed deeply. "We meet humans today, real humans, not just voices." Looked at her hands. "Yes, today marks a change in our history." Inside the human shuttle, Maria and 2 officers, Jason Reed and Lily Carter, checked their translation devices and basic supplies. Jason swallowed. "This is exciting and terrifying." Lily laughed softly. "At least they're smaller than we are. That's a good sign, right?" Maria smiled gently. "It isn't size that decides danger, but their actions show peace, so we follow their example." The The human shuttle moved steadily, its cabin lights warm and soft. When the two shuttles finally approached each other, they stopped at a safe distance. A shared communication channel opened. His voice came through first. "We see you, we are ready." Maria replied calmly, "We are ready too. We will open a shared bridge." A small, transparent docking bridge extended from both shuttles. It formed a sealed walkway in the center, a place where both sides could stand face to face without entering each other's ships. Stepped onto the bridge slowly and followed closely behind her. Maria stepped from the other side with gentle, slow movements. Jason and Lily followed. For a moment, the two groups simply stared. It was the first time eyes and human eyes met without fear. Studied Maria. Humans were taller, stronger looking, and had firmer expressions, but Maria's eyes were soft and warm. Maria studied. The captain had pale blue skin and gentle features. Her eyes were wide with both worry and courage. Maria stepped forward first. "I am Maria Holt," she said quietly. "Thank you for agreeing to meet." Stepped forward too. Thank you for giving us safety." Both stopped at the center of the bridge. No weapons, no anger, no fear. Just two leaders meeting halfway. The moment felt long and heavy, but in a good way, like history taking a deep breath. Stepped forward carefully. "Your language we are still learning." Maria smiled. "We are learning your language too. We will learn together." Gently lowered her head. "This is new for us. You are the first humans we have seen. Your ship, it scared us." Maria nodded softly. "I understand. It has scared others too, but we hope it can also protect." Tension eased even more. For the next hour, both sides exchanged simple gifts, basic data, harmless cultural recordings, and peaceful messages. They asked questions about each other's worlds. Asked, "Do humans all live on one world?" Maria answered, "We started on one world, but now we explore many. We try to grow without harming others." Asked, "Why do you build ships so strong?" Jason replied, "Because space is dangerous. Some species do not want peace, some must be stopped, but we only fight when we must." Asked, "Are you here to expand?" Lily shook her head. "Not by force. We explore to learn, not dominate." Looked relieved. "Then we have nothing to fear from you." Maria hesitated. "Fear is natural, but trust grows slowly." Nodded, "Yes, and today is a start." Eventually, the meeting had to end. The shuttles began to pull back slowly. Placed a hand over her chest. "We thank you, Maria Holt, and we hope this is the beginning of friendship." Maria mirrored the gesture. "It is, and we will work to make sure of it." As the shuttles separated, both crews felt something new settle inside their hearts. A feeling stronger than fear. Hope. When returned to her flagship, the entire bridge turned to look at her. Rushed forward. "Captain, how was it? Are humans dangerous up close?" Smiled gently. "No, they are calm, strong, yes, but calm, and they wish for peace." Her crew relaxed and shared soft sighs of relief. Asked, "What comes next?" Looked at the horizon lance on her screen. "Now we begin real communication, not as enemies, as partners." On the horizon lance, Maria, Jason, and Lily stepped back onto the bridge. Approached with steady steps. "How did it go?" Maria smiled. "Better than we could have hoped. They want to learn from us, and we want to learn from them." Breathed out slowly. "Then this is truly the beginning." Jason grinned. "The first human meeting, this is history." Lily added, "And it felt peaceful, really peaceful." Maria nodded, because both sides wanted peace. Over the next hours, both fleets exchanged deeper information. Maps, cultural teachings, science, peaceful technologies, and harmless history. Trust grew. Fear faded. And something stronger replaced it. Respect. Later sent a final message for the day. "Humans, today we saw your strength, but more importantly, we saw your heart. We wish to walk a shared path with you. Replied calmly, we saw your courage today. We accept your friendship. Our futures will be brighter together. The Horizon Lance and the fleet remained in the same star system for a long while, sharing, speaking, learning. No longer as strangers, no longer as a frightened fleet and a silent warship. They stayed as two civilizations, taking their first steps toward harmony. The day had begun with fear, but it ended with hope. And in a quiet corner of the galaxy, humans wrote the first chapter of a story that would shape generations. A story that began with a warship that did not fire, and aliens who stopped moving long enough to see the heart inside the steel.